guys, it's Kelly. I am here to do the swatch video that I promised you guys. You've already seen it on my eyes twice now in use, and you know that I love it. But I also promised to do a swatch video. I've never done a swatch video before, so please be patient with me. But I thought that I would go ahead and start with the eyeliner in Alkaline and, of course, my lipstick in Fuel. So I thought I would start with those. I am in natural daylight right now. I am not under any sort of artificial lighting, so I'm hoping that it's going to give you a very true representation. Okay, as far as the 24/7 Glide On eye pencil in Alkaline, it is this beautiful, beautiful, let's see, let's do it this way. It's a beautiful plum. It's just a really pretty color. You can see it there, I hope. It is so smooth and so soft. It's the same exact formula as their other 24/7 Glide On pencils. It gave me immediate color in my waterline. I also lined it through my lashes and smudged it out, and it stayed forever. I had to take it off, so that's always good news. So I absolutely love this, and I think the color is awesome. This will be really good in the fall with other palettes or other shadows also. I think that it would be really pretty to use this and do just a plum look. Not necessarily any of the warm colors, but just a plum look using some single shadows. Yeah, I really like that. Now, I also have, this is the Urban Decay in Heat. That's the color of it right there, or Fuel. I'm sorry, it's Fuel. It is the one that is a more, it's like a, I would say an orange neutral. So I'm just going to put that right here. You can see that it is absolutely pigmented. First swipe. I'll do a second swipe. It is beautiful. All right. I love the formula of these. This is the first Vice lipstick I've ever purchased from Urban Decay. I'm slowly getting into bright lipsticks, like actual lipsticks. But for this particular collection, I felt like that this one I would get the most use out of, and I have been. I've been using it a lot. I think it's gorgeous, and I think that it's showing up true to color here on the viewfinder from the best that I can tell. Okay, so those are the two things that I got besides just this beautiful, gorgeous palette. This palette, it's raised on the top. You can hear that when I rub my nails across it. It's almost like a double layer. So you have like this clear acrylic layer that this is on. And then underneath you have the iridescent but warm coppery look of the palette. When you open it up, of course you have a huge mirror as normal. And yes, it does come with a brush just like all of the other Urban Decay palettes do. So let's see if I can do this good for you guys. I'm just going to be using my E14 from Morphe. It's a flat shader brush. It should give us, you know, a really good brush swatch. I'm going to do a finger swatch and then a brush swatch. Now, please forgive my skin. I do have, you know, some wrinkles. I mean, you know, guys, I have mature skin, and I do have some freckles and things like that. But I'm going to do the best that I can for you, and we'll just go from there. So the first color here is called Ounce, and it is just a beautiful color. I really like it. I think that I would like it more if it were not a satin, because it is more of a satin. But the good thing about it, when it goes on your eye, it's not overly shiny or sparkly or anything like that. It just has a bit of a sheen to it. So when I put it over my whole eye, this is my finger swatch. And this, let's go in with the brush and do a brush swatch. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. It's just a very pale color. It's almost it's almost the same color as my actual skin. But when it goes on, it's a really nice pigmented color. You know, I didn't mind that I used it for my whole lid. I covered it up mostly with the other colors, and then I went back and reinforced it on my brow bone, and it was a great inner corner highlight at one time too, so I really liked that. The next color we have is Chaser. These are so creamy and so buttery. So let's go next to that swatch. Okay, I don't know if you can even see that. It is a very pale color. Let me go ahead and put a brush stroke next to it. Like I said, it's very pale, but the surprising thing for me with this one is that it showed so much up on my lid. It showed up way more than I thought that it would. The third shadow is called Sauced. It's gorgeous, and of course it's a deeper color, so it's going to show up more. As you can see, let's go in with the brush. There you go. That gives you a good idea. And I'm just using my color switch in between colors. But this is giving you a very good representation. This and the next one are both great crease colors. I started at one end of the palette and worked my way up. That's what I did. And it just gave it a slow, nice gradient. Okay, this next color is called Low Blow. It's a very nice, warm, it's a cross between an orange and a brown. So I would just say an orangey brown. That's a good swatch right there of what we're looking at. So let me go in to Low Blow with the brush and show you what it does with a brush. You can see it's just as pigmented, if not more pigmented, than the swatch. The next color is called Lumber. I tried to use this, but I found that over these darker shadows here, it did not show up as much. It's fairly sheer. Let me show you. So this is Lumber. It has a gorgeous sheen to it, but it's sheer on application. Of course, it makes a great swatch. It's beautiful. So let me show you what Lumber looks like with a brush. Do you see how it's much more sheer? Okay, let's turn over and start with some of these others. Well, I'll do one more up this side of the arm. Okay, the next one is He Devil. He Devil is a very strong, very pigmented orange-brown. I love it a lot. It's just as pigmented as any of the others. So let's get this on here. Very, very, very pigmented. Okay. He Devil with a brush. You're going to find it performs very, very well. It's beautiful. Okay. One more. Dirty Talk. This one right here. It is a shimmer, or no, it's a satin. I would call Dirty Talk a satin. I did not use this one. This will be the first time for me to go into Dirty Talk. It's just as smooth as the others, but it is a gorgeous metallic. Everything is super, super soft. You're going to see that every one of these kicks up dust as I go into it, especially with the brush. So let's talk about Dirty Talk, no pun intended, and a brush swatch. It does come out a little less sheer, obviously. Finger swatches are always the best, but you can see that it shows up, and it's buildable. I have found that all of the satins in this palette are buildable. Okay, now let's move on to the underside of my arm. Maybe right here. I'm going to try to do it, underneath, because I'm kind of running out of space. Let me clean my brush. And we're going to move on to the color that I used on my lid right here, which is called Scorched. Scorched is gorgeous. It is so very pretty. I mean, just look at that shine. I mean, that is absolutely stunning. Okay, here would be the finger swatch. So see, I hope that you can tell that finger swatches and brush swatches are so very different. Okay, let's go through here with the brush. It does skip just a little bit, but these all blend out so well. You can see just how well it blends. So just a couple of passes and you have fairly opaque color, which I love. Okay, the next one that we're going to do is going to be Cayenne. I have not been into this one yet, but I can tell by looking at it, it is going to be a very strong color. It's a matte and it is beautiful. So this is Cayenne. If you can see the color there. Let me put it on right here. This reminds me very much of some of the colors in the Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced. And also it reminds me of some colors that are in, let me color switch. It also reminds me of a color in the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette from there. But that's beautiful. Okay, let's go into Cayenne with the brush. And let's see how this baby performs. There you go. You can see that it takes very little blending to smooth that out. Almost as strong as the finger swatch. That is a beautiful color. Okay, the next color that we're going to be going into is this one. It's in Fuego. It is similar to Cayenne, but the only difference I would say is that it has more maybe purple or plum in it. It's beautiful. I have not touched it yet. This is the first time for me to touch it. Look at that pigmentation. Amazing. Okay, finger swatch of In Fuego. There we go. Now let's go into In Fuego with the brush and see what happens. I expect it to be just like the others. Oh, actually this one does not. Sorry, I hit the camera. Yeah, let's see if I go in again, if I can get it to be more opaque. Okay, so far, that's the only one that I have found out of the whole palette that is not that impressive. I do believe it's probably buildable because it does still blend out fairly easily. There's some choppiness and that sort of thing, but I think it's doable. You just may have to spend a little extra time blending. Okay, so the In Fuego is not my favorite. Now, Ashes, this one here, is a dark plum color with some warmth to it. It is a matte also. All three of these were mattes. Ashes is what I used over my eyeliner to smoke it out. And it's a gorgeous color in my opinion. So let's go into In Fuego. And let's see if we can get a finger swatch here. There you go. It almost comes off as a chocolate brown, but I can promise you there's lots of purple in this one. Okay, here we go. Okay, this one seems sheer too, but if you watched my tutorial and you saw what the way that I used it, I think you saw just how blendable and easy to work with it is. I think it's probably the same as this one. I think I can honestly say that I've used this one and it was gorgeous. It blended out and it gave me this dark color that I was looking for. So this has swatched very similarly. So it would probably perform the same way. Okay, let me clean my brush. The very last color in the palette is Ember. It is a satin. I have not used it yet, but it is gorgeous. Okay, we've got one more hand swatch to do here. This is the finger swatch. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous swatch. Very interested to see what it does with a brush. It may or may not be sheer like the others. Let's see. Yeah, that doesn't look so good. But the majority of it was deposited at the top, and if you see, as I blend it down, not only does it blend very easily, but the color builds up, so it's buildable. This has, you know, a pretty heavy amount sitting on top of the skin. If I blow it, some of it goes away. Okay, guys, that's my swatches of the Heat palette. I absolutely love this palette. I think that everything about it is awesome. I am tempted to go ahead and get the other eye pencil too, just because the colors are so unique. I'm also tempted to go ahead and look at some of the other Vice lipsticks from Urban Decay because I love this formula so much. It's really smooth, very satiny, feels good on the lips. It's not heavy. I love it. So yeah, guys, I promised you a swatch video, and this is what you're getting. So I hope that it helps. Let's look at it one time. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matte shades, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmer / foil kind of shades. This one, and this one are more of a satin. These two here are very bold and very, as you can see there, very metallic. I hope this helps you guys if you're making the decision, because I know a lot of people still have not purchased this. I am in love with it. Absolute in love with it. I think it's beautiful. Everything about it is workable. And I can't say enough good things about it. Urban Decay is a great brand. Every time a brand comes out with a new palette, especially another addition to their Naked palettes, you're going to want to know if they are as good as the ones that they've always put out, if it's still the same high quality shadows. I can promise you that these are very buttery, very creamy, easy to blend. You can build up the pigment if you want to. I'm very impressed, and I'm very happy that I purchased it. It was great for me. I haven't been using anything else lately, honestly. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, my very first swatch video. I've never done anything like this before, guys, but I hope that you enjoyed watching. I hope that you can see what I was working with here and how the shadows performed both with a finger swatch and a brush. And I hope that I have it up close enough for you to see. I mean, that right there, this one right here, that's stunning. And it's a little bit more of a cool tone. My next look is probably going to be using that. I love it. And see, it's fairly sheer with the, you know, the brush swatch, but I know that I can build it up, which is awesome. And if you want to build up a sheer one like this one, like, let's see, like this one or this one or this one, if you really want to get a real hard impact from it, then wet your brush with some Fix Plus or something like that, and it is going to really pop. It's going to bring out that pigment, and it is going to make you shine. Alright guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope that I was able to help in some way or give you some information you didn't already know. I know there are thousands of videos on YouTube right now on this palette with swatches and everything. I do believe that you can make swatches look good or bad depending on how much pressure you put on your finger here or how much you load your brush up. So it's, you know, it's just one of those things where you just have to find someone that you trust, their opinion, and when they talk to you about a particular shade and they tell you that it blends well or that it's creamy or it's buildable and that sort of thing, especially when we're talking about a palette that's like $56, this is what I think this is. So yeah, I hope that you guys can trust my opinion because I'm always honest with you. I would never be any other way. I love you. please give this video a thumbs up. This is my first ever swatch video, so I hope that I did a good enough job for you guys. So a thumbs up, at least for my effort. And then if you're new to my channel and you'd like to see more from me, then by all means, hit that subscribe button down there. I would love to have you join my YouTube family. I say that at the end of every video, but I do mean it with all my heart. I love you guys. Thank you for your support, and I will talk to you later.